Hi there, welcome. My name's Nao. I generally just doing some content here for how to configure a desktop setup for streaming with separate chat audio using Voicemeeter, Anna, Discord, and Streamlabs. So just gonna crack straight into it, you know. Good old. First off, after you have Voicemeeter Banana installed, it's gonna look something like this. It's actually gonna get installed with 3 different types. There's one that has a little less, and then there's going to be Banana, which is what you're going to want to use right now. You can do this straight through Banana. And then there's Potato. Potato will require a license, but that's for later if you want to expand out, switch, splitting up more audio too as well for VODs and stuff. But just doing chat, Banana will work just fine. When you load it up, it's going to look like this when you run it. So you can basically ignore these inputs right here. These are for extra hardware devices, mics, devices, things like that. I have stuff for like a guitar amp here and whatnot, but you can generally just ignore all this. Bunch of cool features, but forget about it. And really what we're going to focus on is this one right here, and then this one. You can easily rename these just by, just doing a quick click, right there. So you can name which is which, however you want to go. So I set this one up. This is my main PC's input. So I changed my default sound input or output to what is called Voicemeeter input. So it'll be Voicemeeter input and then in brackets VB audio, whatever. That one will be this. So if I play any sounds like through the desktop, you can see the blip right there. You can obviously hear it. So, and that I have configured through. These 3 are your output, like your hardware outs. So A1 is one device, A2 is another, and A3 is another. You can output the 3 separate devices, and just as you see here, what's highlighted will output to it. So if I switch to A2, and then I play, this will play through my normal speaker. You still see it plays, but you're probably not hearing it because it's not coming through, or at the very least, it's going through desktop audio, which is, through my speakers on my screen. But we'll just select back to A1. This is just my headset. And now you can do that is go through here and select. These are the different formats and everything. I kind of just stick to the Microsoft one. Tends to be really good. So this is where I have my headphones plugged in. So I select this as my first one, my A1. Brushes. A2, this is my speakers to my my monitor, built-in speakers. So I selected it as the 2. If you have any other ones, any other devices, you can obviously select the different outputs that you have. Yeah, so, and that's about it. You just click on these and you'll tell which one where to go. So this would be all my desktop audio, games, whatever, YouTube, Twitch, whatever I'm watching or listening to. So to configure the chat, basically you'll go into Banana and you just have this one. It's called Voicemeeter Aux. I set it up. Okay, I want to make sure my output for chat is going to come to my headphones. Nice part, I switch to here, whichever, no big deal. And you also get these virtual outputs too. I change them up so that the desktop is on B1. The chat that I'm going to put all my chat audio through is on B2, which can come in handy for later for configuring up in Streamlabs based on, are you going to track input or output? But we'll get to that later. And mainly what you want to do is after you just come in here, configure your A1, A2 outputs, however you see fit. Go up to menu, make sure you save your settings. I recommend load settings on startup. So if you want to change volumes, like you see here, I have a little bit of gain stuff on here. So if you want to save that, just save a settings file for it. You can then tell it to load it on startup. So when PC boots up, Voicemeeter Banana boots up, it'll load that. Otherwise, it'll be defaults and you'll have to configure it every time. So pretty easy, set the system tray, run on startup, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. It's almost set it and forget it. So what we'll do now is over here in a Discord. So Discord, you can basically just leave it as is for most of it. But as you can see, change, do your input for your mic, obviously, but your output is going to look like this. You want voice meter aux, I say input, so it's actually going to be this. So it's actually going to send it to this on the input here, which then if you have it, selected A1, it'll come up to here and then send it to my headphones. So if I were to check this, just do like a quick mic test. So you can see over here, I'm talking and it's actually playing it right here. So that means that all your output chat audio is going to go through this channel right here. So that's the big thing. So now that we have these two split up, so Discord is outputting it to here. So your desktop audio, game audio is here. Now they are separate. That's it. The rest is going to be in Streamlabs. So after we got this all configured, so we can get out of your settings, we can close that down. We can close this down. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is look at Streamlabs. So, see here, whatever. We're just going to disable performance mode and put it on performance mode for now so you don't get the infinite screen. Okay. So now we're in Streamlabs. So how do you set it up for chat audio? So as you can see here in my mixer, I have Yeti and I have chat. Actually, I'll show it here. But yeah, this will just make it easier because then you can actually see the audio through here. So I have it set up for muting on each one. So let's say I don't want you guys to hear chat, like when it's coming in the VOD or into the stream. I just have it as a mute. Nice part is that you can set up with a Stream Deck for a simple button press. So I want to turn chat on, I can turn it on. I can turn it off. I have even my Yeti mic on here. See, I can just mute, see how, and then use it for my scenes and stuff like that. Very, very handy. I do recommend it because then maybe someone starts saying something in Discord and you need to quickly mute that. You can just hit a button, or you're like, this conversation is private. I'm just gonna, I'm now gonna mute my chat. So then you won't hear it. Don't forget, you might want to mute your mic that you're going out to as well. But yeah, that at least makes it fairly simple going forward. So most people will come in and then you go to your settings up in here and you have your output. So you have your streaming track, which will be your normal audio 1 track. I recommend turning on the Twitch VOD track. This will help you control what's sent to the VOD so you can play music on stream, and then the VOD won't have it. So you won't get DMCA'd when they go through it because they're not tracking live. They only track what comes in the VOD. So I recommend that. So basically always your audio track 1 is going to be all stream output. 2 is what's going to actually make it into the VOD that gets saved on Twitch for later viewing. Recording, it's just as it is. I generally just ignore 1 and 2. I just set 3, 4, 5, and 6 just how I do it, because then these are, my desktop, my Yeti mic, my chat, and then whatever other external device I want, maybe like a guitar or something like that. So, I set up my output files and all that stuff too. Audio, I basically just name them that way so I know which is which. 1 is stream, 2 is VOD, 3 is basically my game or desktop audio, Yeti, chat. I name chat 6 like Spotify, but I'll do Chrome as well. And I'll show you how to set that up too. So if you want to play Spotify music in your stream but not have it show up on the VOD, you can do that and then not get DMCA strike automatically. And you'll be able to turn it on and off as you see fit. So you can still listen to it if you want, and you could share that music out to your viewers and listen to whatever without, it hurting you or your channel. So, that I do with Potato only because it's easier to have a third track that's not chat. So you're not shutting both chat and like Spotify or whatever you're listening to in the background on and off. But pretty much that's it. Just, focusing on that. Pretty standard. You don't even need to mess with these because these are like global throughout all of Streamlabs. I find it kind of makes it a little harder. It is nice though, like you get all these different outputs and everything, but they're pretty much going to be the same things that we'll have set up in here. We'll just have more control per scene that I like to do. But you can set them up in here, and then, you know, through your mixer here, you know, set up muting it on and off. So like chat here, if I open up the properties for it, you can see here chat, the device is that aux output. So if we look here on here, so it's actually over a little bit on in Banana. As you can see here, this is going to the aux. This is the output of the aux here. So I basically just added a new source. So if we go to add new source, and you can do input or you can do output. I generally will do just output. We'll add it. Let's add it as a new source. We'll just be like test, add source. So now we can come in here. And, as you can see, we can select the, wait, this is output. So this will be the input of this. So if I change this up to, let's look at that. So that's fine. You could do input or output. Doesn't really matter at all. So I can delete this again. We'll add another one back in, but let's do it as an in. Test. So now you see you have the output of here. The nice part is with the output of this, you can use this slider. So if you need to adjust your gain and audio and you want some equalizer stuff, you can adjust it here in Voicemeeter, set it, and then forget about it, which is very nice because then you won't have to do it on your inputs or anything like that, you know, for mics or just, you know, maybe you need to bump up Discord chat a little bit, who knows. And it's just makes it nicer if you just go based off of the output, because you'll be able to control and save these settings in here every time you restart. So yeah, that's about it. Like, so as soon as you get that set up, you can also come in here and you can select what tracks you want. I generally kind of do this. So I know I want my chat is on track 5. So like for recordings, I'll be like, okay, this audio device is going through here. I want it in the stream. I also want it in the VOD. If you don't want it in the VOD, just uncheck 2 if you have that selected. So it won't show up in the VOD. You can have it be backwards. So if you want it to not show up on a stream, but show in the VOD, you just select that and you're good to go. And as is for my recording tracks, like, you know, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you can come in here and select which one's going to show up or not. So makes it pretty easy. So, you know, when you're doing like a recording like I am doing right now, you can make sure it shows up in a separate track. You'll be able to know what track it is and you can manage that audio. Obviously, if you set it the same as another one, it'll be shared. So, but generally that's about it. So I set up 2 inputs. So like this one here, obviously is an input, it's an audio input source, and it selects the output of my chat, which is the aux output. So if I go and look here, I go to desktop audio, that's my actual output, which is actually this right here. Because on my Windows, when I go to my sound settings, see if I pop it up here, I have it set as my default. So this one right here, Voicemeeter input, I have selected as my default device. So all my desktop audio is going to come through Banana, going to come through here. So what I do is I just set up the same thing. I just set up a new voice, an audio input, and I select the output of Banana's audio device. And then I can configure it from there. I can mute it on the fly. I can choose, do I want it in the VOD? Do I want it outside? You know, I want it on the stream only. And you can go through it from there, which is actually pretty nice. So, and you can do that for everything. So you can see here, here's my mic input, separate thing. And as you can see, here's my desktop audio, and then here's my chat audio. One is set to the aux, just here, be my Discord, and the other one is set to here, which is my main desktop output that you will hear. So I can flick them on and off, which is very nice. And it's basically just setting up these sources. I recommend doing it this way because then when you're over here and you're going through your different scenes, you can add or remove stuff. So I generally have mine set up is when my stream is starting, I have no mic, no chat, no Spotify, no nothing. That way, so I don't have those. I don't need them there. I don't really care to have them there. If I want, I'll add it. No big deal. And I can remove it. So that's actually what's really nice. So like if I go over to my Elgato, so we go over to the Elgato here. So this is my Elgato input. I have an audio for this one. I don't have desktop anymore. I don't really care to have desktop on this, but I can add it if I so please. But I have just a scene for that, so I'll just move over to the scene to show the desktop for it. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of how you want to configure it. I generally set up these two, which are tied directly to Voicemeeter. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. There's really not much else to it other than that. Like, you're going to want to come in and you can play around with, like, you know, your sliders here for gain and everything. Nice thing to do is add filters. So, like, on my mic, you know, I try to add in a noise suppression so you can't hear anything else through my mic, you know, like snapping my fingers from a distance. Like, this is, like, I have my arm fully extended out, so then, like, stuff out further you won't see. And a noise gate just to make sure it doesn't peak too hard, you know, into the red. That's all. Like, you can add extra gains and stuff on it, and you can add those too to your chat or desktop audio and handle them in here separately. But like, you can also just do that here in Voicemeeter Banana too. You know, you can adjust your gains right here. So these will directly affect your output to your stream and to your VODs and recordings and stuff like that. I feel like this makes this a lot easier, so to speak. So yeah. And if I like turn this off and I open up Potato, I'll show you what Potato looks like. Because Potato is a lot different. There's a lot more to it. But it's nice because then you can have a third one set up for not I can still keep my same chat settings here, which is great because it's mainly just an audio device. So as you see here, this is Potato. You pay for a quick little license for it, and then you can have access to a lot more. So you get 5 outputs. You can look at all these different sliders. Each one corresponds. So A5, you know, B1, 2, 3, you know, the virtual outputs and everything. You can also do your recordings if you want to do a straight voice recording through here for dubbing or something. It'll actually tell you what is on what. I feel like sometimes Discord's kind of weird. It shows up on everything. So you can see here OBS is kind of doing the same thing because it's tracking all the outputs and inputs going in and through the whole thing. And I have different sliders. So I haven't named these, but this is still the same. Desktop, chat, Discord. And this I have set up as like Chrome. So I actually, in my actual settings, Chrome outputs to here. And I set this as my default input, but it doesn't matter because I can change by just selecting A1, A2, or A3 to go to a different hardware device out. So it doesn't really matter based on your Windows input. I can have my Windows input always be my headset, but through Voicemeeter, if at least these are going to my headset, it'll still send sound to it, which is very nice and handy. So like you don't have to worry about, you know, things like that. So, but like if you want to say, I want to play music and I also want to have, you know, like maybe like YouTube and Twitch playing and I want to show stuff to people and I don't want to get DMCA'd, you can use Potato. There's like a $40 would be the max for professional use. I recommend it because this is such a handy piece of software, and it's a one-time pay. So you're basically good. It licenses you. You're good to go. All the same features. You know, there's a bit more to it for a bunch of other stuff. I don't even understand. I just use it like I use Banana, just with an extra channel. So like this one, I have it set up on my Streamlabs as like Chrome and Spotify. So if I enable this, like right now I'm listening to Tweak, you should be getting audio. So he's playing Elden Ring right now. Yeah, you can probably see him. Yes. Let's bring it up. Let me just show you so you can actually see. So as you can see, I'm watching a Twitch stream right now. This is his audio, and it's all separate too. So if I just want to, I can come in here and just bam. You can't hear anything. You won't be able to hear anything because I just muted it. That's the nice part. I did this for Chrome and Spotify, and I'll show you how to set that up. But essentially, this is basically a new audio input device. So input capture, add source.
There's just so much to do.
This one is the VA-IO3 output. I think I might have mine set to input. Yeah, so mine's set to the input at the moment. I should probably change that. Which actually we could just do that right now. So if I just click and rename this. Done. So we can remove it and I'll show you. I'll leave it on so you'll be able to see. So if we remove this, can't hear it no more. Let's go to the input capture. Let's make it there. And now you'll notice you should have audio for it now. So I'm gonna move back down. There we go.
So yeah, there's a cave over there.
Yep, so now you can hear Tweak's audio. Hope he doesn't mind for this tutorial purpose.
I just don't remember why.
And also you can come in here now and select it. So I don't want this to ever show up on a VOD, so you would click that off, number 2. As long as you have it set in your settings, that you have the VOD track on, it'll always be 2. Just uncheck it here. I'm going to select these off because I want, let's say like this recording, I only want it to be 6. I have no idea. It might not show up. It might show up in the recording now. Sometimes there's issues with it not picking up the audio, but we will see. And that's it. So now it's on its own separate thing. I can come in here and now I got to go like reconfigure my my Elgato. So like if you're up here in your Elgato, I'm going to go here. This is Chrome and Spotify. I'm just going to like, let's set it to desktop. And then I'm going to set it to Chrome and Spotify. And we will name it Chrome and Spotify. So this should now interact with this. Oh, there it is. Now I can turn it on and off as I see fit. So it's essentially going to be, is it going to show up in the recording? It's not going to show up in the recording. Is it going to show up in the VOD? And so on and so forth. And I can use my Stream Deck with it. Incredibly nice. So, and just the same, you can see it's right here. The nice part I kind of like with Potato and even with using Voice Meter, I can come in here and I can just shut stuff off. So like you can obviously still hear him playing, but if I shut this off, that's off in here. So you can either use, you know, your Stream Deck to control what's going on in Streamlabs for what's going out, or if you need to, you can keep Voice Meter up and you can change it. You can change the direct volume of the actual thing, or you can do it for everything that's connected here, like I do here with this gain. Right now it's set to output to my desktop speaker, but I can just switch it. So doesn't matter, you guys don't hear a change, but now the output for me is switched to my headphones. So you can really control like where your audio is going and coming from, which is great because I personally like to play Escape from Tarkov, but there's a problem. I want to listen to music, or I want to listen to a streamer, or I want to watch a streamer play, especially playing Tarkov. It sucks because directional audio. So what I do is that helps me out is when I'm playing the game is that I have my game audio, which will be this channel right here. It's coming to my headset, so I have, you know, the best possible audio I can for directional. But like when I'm listening and watching a streamer, I'll actually just switch it to my desktop. That way, so it's a distinctive difference, and I have open back headphones, and it helps me. I can still watch and I can still listen, but it'll be very muted, and I'm not going to get the directional audio from the streamer like I would if I put it in my headphones. And then I'm going to get confused. Is those footsteps from me, or is it from the stream? And that's what I would say is a huge benefit of using like Potato and splitting this up into here, as well as like using with Spotify. So like if I pull Spotify up right now, I'll just, and here's the nice part, I have my own music, so I won't get DMCA'd into oblivion. So I'm going to mute Tweaks I'm still watching it. And we're gonna play just a simple music. So I want to play Future. Right now, that's also going through my desktop speakers. Now I just switched it over. And you can see here it changed, like you can see where it's coming from too. So when I switch it over, now it's playing through both. And I can adjust the gains on either one. So that's kind of the nice part, is you have so much control. Really where you're sending it, outputting it, equalizations and stuff like that for each one. So if you're running like a headphone setup, but you also have a speaker setup, like you can run both at the same time, like no problem at all. So that's the nice part. So I want to shut off this off. Bam. I actually can still hear it. I just muted it for the recording right now. So my music is still playing. I'm still jamming out, but it's not going to the VOD and it's not going to the stream. And since I set it up to be not going to the VOD at all, no matter what, basically when it's on, you'll hear it. I can mute it so you can't hear it, but I don't have to worry about copyrighted music like my own music showing up in a VOD or nothing like that or whatever. So that's pretty much it. Like you're literally just doing the same thing for chat audio as you would for essentially like music. And yeah, that's it. Like it's kind of handy. I think it's really good. It'll give you as a creator a lot of options, a lot less worry, about getting banned or whatever. So yeah, because DMCA sucks. Everyone wants to play and listen to music, but when it's always showing up in a VOD, Twitch scans that occasionally, and you might show up and you'll get that strike automatically without any care in the world. So at the very least, setting up the Twitch VOD, setting up your audio sources here to do, however you see fit, will help you, like Chrome or YouTube stuff and Spotify without going to the VOD. So I can share a YouTube video with you guys live, and I don't have to worry about getting DMCA'd out the butt later. All because I, like, literally, Streamlabs free. I use a Kevlar pack, so I paid like $35 for that, which gives me these nice little overlays and stuff. And then I paid $45 for the $40 for this, just for a lifetime license to support. And it's a donation. You could do everything through Banana. You're just going to be down one less channel to have that control, which if you want to do that, you would just take and switch those audio over into your chat one. So then you could say all my chat audio doesn't go to the VOD, and then I can put my Spotify and other stuff like Chrome, YouTube, and Twitch streams on there, and then they'll never go to the VOD, and you won't have to worry about DMCA. Yeah, so, and right now I'll show you. So basically, when you get all your stuff set up in Voicemeeter, you get your settings, save them, make sure it's set to load on startup and all that. You'll be good to go. Set up your stuff in here. You can see here I have chat, desktop, and I have a Chrome Spotify one, and I can control that with my Stream Deck, which is awesome. But what you're wondering is, how do I take and I do this one? I want it, because like Chrome and Spotify is default always going to go to your main desktop because of your input, right? So as you saw, my input is by default is going to be that channel of Voicemeeter input, which is this one right here. Well, that's part of my desktop audio here. So how do I still have this be like game audio or whatever, and then have this one be separate? This is actually really nice, and it's very easy to do, and you can do it for any app you have currently running. So make sure you start up Chrome. So as you can see here, I have Chrome open. I have it on Tweak here. It doesn't matter however many tabs. If you want to go to YouTube or whatever, just make sure you have the application open. And you're going to want to open up your settings, and you want to go here. You want to go to your Windows settings. Make sure you go to the sound system settings, and you're going to scroll to the bottom, advanced sound options. This allows you to change the input and output of every application. You could do it for everything. I could do it for Steam. I can even do it for Streamlabs, Voicemeeter. You can do it for video games. But generally, what I would do is, let me open up Spotify again, just to make sure that pops up in this list. This list should update, and you'll see it. Very least, it should. See, now Spotify just showed up. I started playing some music. As you can see, what I did here is I set it this over so you can see. So Spotify uses this VIO input here. So it's sending the output to this input, which is going to be this third channel over here in Potato. I could change that to the Discord channel here. But I wanted to make it separate because I want chat to show up in the VOD, but I don't want Spotify to show up in the VOD, but also I want it to show up in recordings. So I use Potato because it gives you access to this third one, which is the VIO input 3. You will always have this, by the way. Like in your sound options, Voicemeeter always installs all 3 of them. It's just a matter of Potato and the other ones only use like these ones. So like Potato uses all 3, Banana uses just these 2, and the other one, which is simpler, should just only use this input. You'll have to pay to use all 3, just a minor donation, whatever it is. I recommend it. It's great, especially if you do a lot of gaming content and stuff like that, and you want very specific control over, your sound, because audio levels are whack. I listen to streamers or other content creators and or YouTube all at the same time. I'm watching like 3 or 4 different things, playing a game, and maybe I want to stream, but I don't, I don't want viewers to hear or listen to stuff. So with this, I can have full control. And you can see I did the same thing with Chrome. I have it open. So when I close Spotify, you'll see that Spotify will go away, but when you open it back up, it always has Voicemeeter, so, which is nice. So when you do this setup, you always will have to have Potato running or Voicemeeter running, which as long as you have it on startup, you should be good. And if anything, if you ever run into weird audio issues, go to menu and just restart the audio engine. That tends to fix everything. Sometimes for Chrome, I just refresh the tab and it shows up right in here. Sometimes like Discord, sometimes shows up with like 5 or different things. You can ignore it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's just it picking up and holding on to what was last there. So, but as you can see, we come in here. So Spotify open, but no sound playing. So let's play something. Cool, it just popped up. See, now it's going to there. And now we can see that it is, here's the audio for it right here. And then if I unmute Tweak, as I'm watching Twitch, you can see he shows up here in this channel. And then that's just this right here. So, bam. Now you can't hear it. Now it's not in the VOD. Same thing as if I did chat, just an extra layer and quick little cheeky settings in here in Windows. Pretty damn helpful. So like, maybe you have alerts for something else, some other app or whatever. Maybe you want to have Firefox and Chrome together, but be completely different audio sources or outputs. You can absolutely do that to whatever extent you want to do. I just set it up like this. I set my Discord output just from general Discord stuff. So when I have Discord open and running here, and let's say I'm gonna mute and unmute. So right now it's all disabled, but you can't hear anything from it, which is great for me. So yeah, which is really nice. Like you can just kind of control your audio a lot better this way. So should be a full tutorial of everything, including Banana and and Potato, how to set up chat for Discord, any other chat stuff. Just change your output. Make sure you're using the Voicemeeter one. I like to use aux. You could use any other one, doesn't matter. Aux will generally be the one you can use with Banana because you'll get the 2 for free. Yeah, and that's pretty much about it. If you are running any Windows Sonic stuff or Dolby like I do in your sound settings, what you're going to want to do is make sure under your properties, so like for my audio here, if you're using spatial sound, set this for all your outputs. So set it for your headphones, and then make sure you set it for your output of voice meter too as well. Otherwise, it's not going to come through. It'll be different, or it'll be just completely disabled. So that's what I do. You don't have to run it if you don't want to. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to switch back here. So yeah, that should conclude that. So pretty much a full-on tutorial for just setting up chat audio, and how to also set up like Spotify or Chrome audio and everything like that. So it's pretty easy. I would say bookmark this, save it for later, go through it. If need be, I can also split this up into different chunks. I'm just going to upload it as one video. This is a lot of stuff that I've learned from looking around, looking at forums, looking at guides, how to set up the audio and all that stuff. It's actually pretty simple. Install it, just change your output to use the voice meter one, go into voice meter, configure your hardware output, you know, through your A1 or A2. Make sure you have them selected however you want. Adjust your gains just for your audio in general. Go into Streamlabs and set that up too. Essentially, if you just don't set up chat, you won't have it. But if you want to have it included in your streams, add it as a source, as an input source. Just select the output of voice meter. That way, so you can control a bit more like reverb and equalization in voice meter and have that saved every single time. And you don't have to then go into like Streamlabs, audio devices, or anything like that and basically reconfigure it. So, yeah, so I hope people found that useful. I have friends, people ask me about it. I know sometimes streamers talk about it, but they don't really show it. And sometimes you find like tons of videos and nothing that really kind of just goes straight through it. So I hope that explains anything. If please leave, you know, comments if you're like, hey, you missed a step, there's maybe something you should configure or look into or explain better, you know, sure, I'll go through it. Maybe I'll split it up into different stuff. So it'll be just how do you do Discord chat separately, and or how you set it up with a third using like Potato. But hoping this video should cover everything. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.